Yeah, what's up, world? B Marsh Boxing. Back at it with another boxing video. Got some news coming out of England. Josh Warrington, IBF champion at featherweight. And Zucan, the WBA regular champion, or is it world champion? Whatever it is, it's not the legitimate full champion. And as boxing fans these days, this what we got to do. We have to really stop calling these guys who have regular world titles champions when there's a super champion. You know what I mean? That's why boxing is behind, you know what I mean? We're some light years behind of other sports because of all the confusion. I'm hearing a lot of people these days actually even calling guys like Alexander Povetkin a former heavyweight world champion. How is that the case when Vladimir Klitschko was the WBA super champion the whole time? And they even fought. And Vladimir leaned all over this guy. So just to be conscious of what we're saying out here, I don't recognize these other guys who have, I call them Reggie belts, you know what I mean? Like WBA Reggie belts, the regular titles. And that's what Zucan has because Leo Santa Cruz was and is probably still the WBA super champion because Santa Cruz still has two titles. He's holding two titles currently, a 130-pound title and still is 126-pound title. But this is supposed to be some a unification of some sorts. Zhu Can, a guy out of China who's 18-2 with 3 KOs versus Josh Warrington who's 30-0 with 7 KOs. Um, there's no exact date as of yet, obviously due to this COVID-19 virus that's affecting the world, not just the sporting world, not just the boxing world, but really affecting the world and every our day to day lives. You know what I mean? But WBO, excuse me, Josh Warrington was supposed to face the WBO champion Shakur Stevenson, but looks like negotiations have stalled after the man Josh Warrington left Frank Warren's Queenberry Promotions, and now he's with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn's Promotions. Okay, and Zucan, I think Zucan is a Golden Boy fighter, if I'm not mistaken. And he fights over there on the zone, which is where Matchroom has their stable at on the zone. So this is an easier fight to make, considering that the man Shakur Stevenson is a top ranked fighter, and they fight on what do you call it? On ESPN Top Rank. You know what I mean? And so that fight was out the question. And when Josh Warrington did sign with Matchroom, he said that yeah, the fight could still be made. We could still, which I didn't doubt him because I have seen unifications at that between Top Rank and the DAZN network or the DAZN app. Excuse me, when Maurice Hooker went into unification with Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez left Top Rank. What the fight wasn't on ESPN Top Rank; it was over there on DAZN. Now this is a fight I'm not mad at because there's a possibility, according to Eddie Hearn, that the WBA Super Belt will likely, quote unquote, likely be on the line for Zucan if he does so happen to win, and or if Josh Warrington wins, they will be holding the WBA Super title. You know what I mean? Because the WBA is gonna have to strip um, Leo Santa Cruz if he decides to stay at 130 pounds for the duration of his career, or at least for now, if he's not going to move back down to 126. So a guy like Gary Russell Jr., he can't get no significant fights. Nobody in his weight class wants to fight him. This right here is a fight. It's the easiest path to resistance for the man Josh Warrington, fighting a guy with only 3 KOs and has lost to guys who are nobodies, guys I've never heard of, guys who are, like a guy from India that Zucan has lost to. You know what I mean? This was early in his career, to be fair. But he lost to a guy named Neraj Goyan, excuse me, who who's 11-3, and he's a guy from India. And I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all, man. I don't really see too many Indian boxers on my television screen. The last hope India had for any potential of having a world champion was the guy by the name of Vijay Singh, who even did sign with Top Rank, and they still have done nothing with this guy's career. Vijay Singh, man, his career went into abysmal. You know what I mean? It was in the same Olympics with guys like even Anthony Agogo, who from the UK, who ended up doing a whole lot of nothing in boxing. I think he had a detached retina, man. His career went down the toilet. You know what I mean? So Zucan hasn't lost in a while still, you know what I'm saying? Um, he came on the scene when he beat, was it Jesus Rojas on the DAZN card? And that was a big upset, you know what I mean, for the WBA regular title. And he's had two title defenses of that. His last fight was against Manny Robles the third. He won by unanimous decision, pretty wide. He did his thing pretty dominant. And like I said, I think it's the easiest path to resistance for the man Josh Warrington to unify a title. You know what I mean? It's an easier fight for him than Josh Warren. Excuse me, than a Shakur Stevenson or Gary Russell, the two African Americans from the East Coast. Gary Russell Jr. from Capitol Heights, Maryland, and Shakur Stevenson from Newark, New Jersey. You know what I mean? So it's just an easier fight. I mean, these two guys can't crack an egg. The man Jesus, I'm sorry, Zucan has three KOs in his career in about 20 fights, 18-2. You know what I mean? In 20 fights, he has two KOs. And excuse me, three KOs. And the man Josh Warrington, who's 30-0, I believe, he has only seven KOs. You know what I mean? You check it. So this fight's not official. It's just the two guys have agreed to terms. And I think it should be a fun fight, pretty action packed. You know what I mean? Both guys are gonna be, you know, right there in front of each other, not believing the opponent has power. You know what I mean? Um, but it could be a tougher fight than guys like for Josh Warrington than a guy like Carl Frampton. I had a feeling I picked him to beat Carl Frampton, and he made easy work of him. And that's maybe because Carl Frampton's is having a hard time trying to boil down to 126 pounds. So he's currently competing at 130. You know what I mean? He was a big 122 pounder, and he's pity he was a decent size at 126, but he's moving on to greener pastures at 130. You know what I mean? Justin Ukabi Justin Ukabiala. What's happening, man? He's in the chat. How you doing, man? He says, "What's up? What's up with you, man? Thanks for coming through. I hope you hit the thumbs up on your way in." So yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. The dates, TBA, just like everything. The Olympics ain't happening this year. 2020, man. My gosh. Even if I wanted to travel, man, it's a wrap. I really can't do nothing this year as far as it's been a hard month of March, but we just got to persevere, uplift each other, stay positive, and just be safe and clean and wash your hands and just, try not to catch the coronavirus or infect others. It's pretty contagious, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to this fight when it does happen. You know what I'm saying? The man Zucan, he's more of a volume puncher, you know what I mean? Gonna be throwing punches and bunches. It's gonna be an action-packed fight, you know what I'm saying? But Josh Warrington gotta thank the man Eddie Hearn with everything he can in him. You know what I'm saying? By getting him a unification with not with Shakur Stevenson or Gary Russell, fights that I know he would lose. You know what I mean? The man Gary Russell called the man Josh Warrington a club fighter. And to be honest, the way he fights, he can't be fighting no guys like Josh. The way he fought Lee Selby and Carl Frampton, he can't fight no guys like Gary Russell or Shakur Stevenson in that type of fashion. They will get knocked out. Or Warrington, excuse me, will get knocked out. He's gonna catch a right hook from Gary Russell, and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? He's gonna go night night. You check it. He can't go out there and try to box or try, use his Tasmanian Devil style. He ain't do that against Kid Galahad. and you seen the outcome. You know what I mean? I thought the fight could have gone either way, but he ain't dominate Kid Galahad. You know what I'm saying? And Kid Galahad is now still the mandatory after beating Claudio Morero in it took him to school, man. It was a very great boxing performance by the man, Kid Galahad. So Josh Warrington got to thank Eddie Hearn for getting him a unification that more than likely he should win. I am favoring him to win, but don't sleep on the man who can. You know what I mean? He had two early losses in his career. He's been on a good winning streak. He beat Jesus Rojas, which would have been a tough competitor if he had to face the man Josh Warrington. So we shall see, man. We shall see. But it's a good fight. On paper, it's a good fight. I think when they get in the ring, it's going to be action packed. But it's unfortunate for guys like Shakur Stevenson and or what's his name, Gary Russell. You know what I mean? That these guys are not going to get those, those defining legacy unification fights. You know what I mean? They might as well fight each other. That's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? Might have to be another situation like Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez, two guys that were heavily dunked in their respective divisions, 154 and 147. And they decided, you know what, we're going to fight each other at middleweight, and we're going to do it twice. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Mike Gary Russell and what's his name, Shakur Stevenson might have to do. There's political barriers, of course, Top Rank and PBC, but hey, I've seen Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, but at the end of the day, that fight made financial sense. I'm not too sure if unification between Gary Russell and Shakur Stevenson would make mega bucks. You know what I mean? I highly doubt it. If anything, they probably should have put it on the undercard of that Deontay Wilder versus Fury rematch. Anyways, B Marsh Box, let me know what y'all think. What's up, Mike 104? My guy, what's good with you, man? I was about to seal the deal before I seen you in the chat. He says, Mike 104 says, I don't see too many Indian boxers. In 2012 Olympics, Vijay Singh was flashing leather though. Duke could throw hands. Absolutely, man. I thought Vijay Singh would have been uh, a global superstar when he came out of the Olympics in 2012. You know what I mean? He medaled in the Olympics. I thought the guy would put that region on the map as far as Pakistan and India on the map as far as boxing. Now, I don't think, like you said, we don't see too many Indian boxers. Boxing might not be a big priority in India, but this guy was a massive amateur star over there in India. You know what I mean? Vijay Singh was that dude over there in India. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately for him, he never got that what do you call it? That appeal from different countries. Like the man was even signed. I think he was even with Frank Warren. You know what I mean? He was with Frank Warren, if I'm not mistaken, over there on Queensberry Promotions. They ain't do nothing with his career. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's lost yet. He's well, it was 2008 Olympics, if I ain't mistaken. 2008, that's when he performed over there. He might have been in 20. No, I don't think he was in 2012. That just goes to show you, 2008 Olympian. Until this day, he ain't done nothing significant in his career. You know what I mean? The man been a pro from 2015. I don't know why he started that late, but he's a superstar in this country as far as was an amateur star. I think he be in Bollywood video movies. You know what I mean? He hasn't fought since 2019. He fought in Dubai. I think that was on that November 2019 when he fought on that Amir Khan versus what's the other guy? The guy from Lebanon via Australia. What's his name? Billy Dib. So Vijay Singh fought Charles Adama who fought guys like Triple G in like 2014 or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But nothing really has gone on with his career. I think he's involved in a whole lot of stuff, politics, movies in his country, and boxing is just you know It's really secondary. You know what I mean? You check it. This guy's been in the game for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's been in the game for a while. You know what I mean? Okay. And he's a TV star in this country too. So I think everything he does besides boxing pays him well. You know what I'm saying? In boxing, the man is 34 years old. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no spring chicken. Um, what's his name? Justin Ukiabala says they should fight Gary Russell versus Shakur. It would be nice though, absolutely. But boxing is a business disguised as a sport. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a business first, sport second. And if that fight doesn't make financial sense, high risk, low reward, them two brothers ain't fighting. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate in this day and age, these promoters can't promote, you know, black fighters in the lower weights to have big unifications. What do they have to be Hispanic? Do we have to go back to Barrera Morales, Barrera Marquez, you know what I'm saying, to make these type of fights? You know what I mean? It seems like a lot of African Americans at these type of weights, they really can't sell. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. Prince Nassim was a featherweight from a different country, but he was a megastar. You know what I'm saying? So financially, probably doesn't make sense. So don't hold your breath. We probably ain't gonna see that fight. That's exactly why we haven't seen Demetrius Andre versus Jamal Charlo, excuse me, and we probably won't. Let's be honest. Mike 104 says, yeah, it was 2008. I couldn't remember. It was my freshman or senior year of high school. Okay. He said it was your freshman or senior year. That's a 4 year gap, Mike. You funny, man. Mike 104 says, seems like yesterday we was watching Shakur Stevenson in the Olympics. Now this Olympics might be canceled. Might be, man. It's a wrap. There's no Olympics going on in Tokyo, my G. It's a damn shame too, man. I was looking forward. I love the Olympics. That's I love boxing, long distance running, 100 yard meters or 200 yards, and basketball. That's what I watch. I also watch gymnastics. I watch almost anything that could keep me on my seat as far as watching something competitive in the Olympics. But Jesus Christ, man, boxing especially. I mean, I wanted to see what the American Olympians were about, you know what I mean? Because really and truly, I don't know if you've heard it anywhere on any other channel before, but if this your first time hearing it, I've said it before, man, them Eastern Bloc countries in that 2016 Olympics, they were the ones who were shining, you know what I mean? Them and the Cubans, of course. America came in third basically behind countries like Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, with Triple G in them for Ukraine and Kazakhstan. You know what I'm saying? I've been covering all those Olympians, every single one of them, from Shonjahan, Igashev Shonjahan, um, guys like what's the guy who just unified titles at 122 pounds, and the man is he unified titles in 7 fights. I've been covering his fights. You know what I mean? He beat Danny Roman. These guys are major players on the scene, and if America don't wake up, these guys will be dominating boxing for a very long time. You know what I mean? Really and truly, these guys are more dedicated to the sport as far as you know, they farm system from raising young kids in boxing gyms. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tough, man. And I really wanted to see what USA was gonna do. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson came home with what you call it, with the silver medal. You know what I mean? Um, I was looking forward to seeing also other countries too, the whole world basically. That's what I wanted to see, the whole world, see what they're gonna do as far as bringing glory to their country. That ain't happening this year. I don't know. We can't even really think about the future too much because right now the future we don't know what's going to happen in the future. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how long this pandemic's going to end. Some I've heard some people actually say 18 months. Oh my gosh, 18 months. It's gonna be tough, man. Akamadiliev, the guys. I think he was from. I think he's from like Uzbekistan. He's a unified champion with two titles, WBA and IBF, in 7 fights. Beat Danny Roman in a close fight. So right about now, man, gotta. We ain't gonna see no Olympics, so we're not gonna see any prospects, future guys who could be world champions. It's a damn shame, man. But like I said, we just gotta persevere and uplift each other, man, so we can get back to our daily normal routine. You know what I mean? So yeah, be much boxing. Big ups to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Salute to y'all. Big up to Justin Ukabiala. Big ups to Mike 104. Salute. Thanks for coming through per usual. And I salute and I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about Zucan versus Josh Warrington, IBF, WBA unification. And let me know who you guys think's gonna win. Big ups to Finks, my man Finks out of boxing. Salute. Thanks for the thumbs up, my G. Yeah, man. Let me know who you guys think's gonna win this fight. Are you interested in this fight? Are you excited for it? You think Josh Warrington's gonna be a unified champ, or can Zucan upset the apple cart? I think he sure can. These two guys can't crack an egg, and the man has definitely improved. Zucan in his punches and bunches and in his activity. So we shall see. Be Marsh Boxing. I'm gone. Peace.